Today, we're diving into a transformative topic, which is limiting beliefs. These hidden barriers often dictate the direction of our lives without us even ever realizing it. So, my intention today is to guide you through understanding what limiting beliefs are, how they are formed, why they impact your life, but most importantly, how to change them to unlock your true potential. So, what are limiting beliefs? Limiting beliefs are the subconscious thoughts and assumptions that hold us back from achieving our goals. They can sound something like it's like the inner chatter in your head. It can sound something like, I'm not smart enough. Actually, you can actually say it out loud sometimes. I don't even have time. I don't have successes for other people. Things of that nature, whether they're inside chatter or whether you actually speak them. You see, on an average, we have about 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts per day. Unfortunately, for us, studies suggest that 80% of those thoughts are negative thoughts, and 95% of the thoughts are repetitive thoughts. This means that most of the limiting beliefs we carry are reinforced daily without us ever even realizing it. Let me give you some examples of some limiting beliefs. Number one, self-doubt, which means, not good enough. And we say things to ourselves like, I'm not smart or talented. I don't have what it takes. Others are more qualified than me. Maybe you have a fear of failure. Things like, if I try, I'll probably fail. I'm afraid of making mistakes. It's too risky. How about fear of success? If I succeed, people will expect too much from me. Success will change me or my relationships. I don't deserve to succeed. Or maybe you're somebody with a scarcity mentality and say things to yourself like, there's not enough time, or there's not enough money or resources. Maybe you say, opportunities like this don't come often. Or maybe, if someone else wins, I lose. Another one you might think is that you have an imposter syndrome. I hear that a lot. Thoughts might be, I'm a fraud, and it only matters of time before people find out, or I don't belong here, or my favorite, I was just lucky. I had that one for a long time. I remember back in the late 70s, I took an exam to be promoted to Chief Petty Officer in the Navy, and people were telling me, "You're never going to make it. You're never going to make it. You don't have enough time in service. You don't have enough time in rate." Things like that. And I did the work, and I deserved it. And I didn't listen to those kind of thoughts. But sure enough, I did make it. And when I did, one of the first things, and I said this for many years after that, is I was just lucky, when the truth was I deserved it. Do you sometimes think that maybe you're unworthy? Thoughts like, I don't deserve happiness. I don't deserve love. I don't deserve success. Things like that. Good things don't happen to people like me. I haven't earned it. Uh, Maybe you have limiting beliefs around age or time. I'm too old or I'm too young to start. It's too late for me. My time has passed. Think thoughts like that. It's never too late, and you're never too old, and you're never too young. What about thoughts concerning your health or your fitness? Uh, Thoughts like, I'm just not meant to be fit or healthy. I've always been overweight. My whole family is overweight. My body won't change no matter what I do. How about this one? I have bad genetics. All those kind of thoughts are limiting beliefs. Maybe you struggle with negative thoughts about relationships and love, like, I'm not lovable. All the good ones are taken. Relationships never work out for me. Uh, Nobody likes me. And what are your thoughts about money? Are they thoughts like money is hard to come by? Rich people are greedy or dishonest? Money doesn't grow on trees? I'll never be wealthy? Things like that. Are you giving away your control in life by thinking thoughts like, I have no control over my circumstances? Life happens to me, not for me. I personally think life happens for me. Uh, Another one might be, that's just the way things are. Or maybe you're one of those people that have to have everything perfect and you start sabotaging yourself with thoughts like, it's not perfect, it's not worth doing. I need to get everything right the first time. Mistakes are unacceptable. Do you compare yourself to others? I'll never be as good as them. They have something I don't. I'm behind everyone else. I'm just not good looking enough. Those are all limiting beliefs about different aspects of your life. So, how do we change this programming? Well, breaking through these beliefs often start with challenging their truth, and then you reframe them into empowering beliefs, followed by taking small, consistent action to prove them wrong. So, for right now, just take a moment and think of a goal that you've struggled to achieve. What thoughts crossed your mind, or what thoughts cross your mind when you're thinking about pursuing it? Those thoughts just might be some of your limiting beliefs. So, how are limiting beliefs formed? Most of our beliefs are shaped early in life by experiences, by authority figures like our parents and our teachers, repeated messages and things that we hear as a youngster. They can also, though, be formed through a single failure or even a negative comment said by somebody that didn't mean it to be negative or didn't mean to embed those beliefs into you, but it did. And these beliefs, well, they can linger for years. I can remember when I was in middle school, probably 13, 14, I guess, 7th, 8th, ninth grade, something like that. I do remember it was in middle school because I remember it was in a portable classroom, and we were given an assignment to write a creative story, use our imaginations and write a creative story. And I really thought I had written an outstanding story. And I turned it in. And when the teacher came back with the grades, and I was a good student, teacher came back with the grades and passed out the papers. Mine had a C on it in red with a red circle. And in the comments, it said something like, you have no imagination and you're not creative. And I carried that with me from that one teacher for the majority of my life. And even today, you might hear me slip up and say something that is still, I say that thing caused by that limiting belief, even though I've worked through it and I do the best that I can. But the difference is that I would say that the majority of the time, 99% of the time, I hope, I am aware of when I think that thought or when I say something to that effect, and I will create it different. I'll reframe that thought or the words that I say. Our beliefs are often created through social and cultural influences. And what I mean by that is we absorb society norms. If you come from a particular religious background, you you are influenced by that background, and those are the beliefs that you carry around concerning that. Uh, and sometimes you adopt limiting beliefs from those because of the culture itself. Also, emotional experiences, especially during childhood, because between the ages of about 1 and 6, 1 and 7, there is no definitive age. But that's when we actually absorb, we're like a sponge, and we absorb pretty much everything that's said and done around us. And so when we do that, it solidifies certain beliefs about our abilities and about our worth. Just like I was talking about the teacher, I was a little older than 6 or 7, but it was still working. Those type of things were working. But as a kid, imagine if somebody tells you you're no good or you can't do that, you'll never amount to anything. Those kind of things can solidify certain beliefs about your abilities and your actual worth. You see, the brain is wired for efficiency. So once a belief forms, our mind constantly searches for evidence to support it, reinforcing the cycle. So it just continues and continues and continues because the brain is wired for efficiencies. These limiting beliefs impact us in all the things that we do in our normal lives. If you think about things like, I don't deserve a promotion, that can prevent you from applying for a new role or even putting in an application or taking a leadership position. Beliefs such as I'm not lovable can create patterns of self sabotage or prevent intimacy. If you're telling yourself, I'll never be fit, it can derail your fitness routine or your any efforts before they even begin. And telling yourself things like, I never have enough will always keep you in a cycle of never having enough. It's just the way it is. What you focus on is what you get. So the good news, though, is that we can change limiting beliefs. And when we do, we unlock things like potential, confidence, better relationships, and just overall well being. When we remove roadblocks, we open doors to opportunities that once they felt impossible. Now they feel possible. Replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones builds your self esteem, your confidence, and your resilience. A healthy mindset fosters deeper connections and healthier communications. A belief shift can improve mental health, it can reduce stress, and it will improve overall happiness. So, how do we change limiting beliefs? Well, I'd like to tell you that you just snap your fingers and say, I change, but it doesn't. Changing limiting beliefs, it doesn't happen overnight. But with awareness and consistent effort, you can shift your mindset. You shift it a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. You shift your mindset and open the door to all those new possibilities. Now, what I'm going to go through here is a step by step approach to start breaking free from beliefs that hold you back. First thing you have to do is you have to identify the limiting belief, and you do that through awareness. Awareness is the ability to hear and understand the chatter that is going around in your mind, the thoughts and the things that come out of your mouth on whether or not they are good or bad. And you do that based on how the feeling it gives you, but you have to be aware of it. So start paying attention to the words you speak, but pay attention to your inner dialogue as well. What negative thoughts keep repeating? When you face a challenge, what's the first thing that you tell yourself or the first thing that comes to your mind? Do you notice patterns like feeling I'm not good enough or I can't do this? Because those are what's holding you back. Here's something that everybody should do, and you can do this on a regular basis, but you need to do it to start the initial shift. Get yourself a legal pad or a notebook or something and a pen. And every time you notice a certain belief popping up, a certain negative thought popping up, write it down. Write it down so that you can deal with it uh, right then. Okay. Second thing you do is question its truth. Once you've identified a limiting belief, ask yourself, is this belief really true? What real evidence, not made up, not perceived evidence, what real evidence do you have to support this belief? And what evidence do I have, real evidence, that contradicts it? You see, most limiting beliefs are based on assumptions. They're not facts, they're assumptions. So by questioning them, you start to see how flimsy They really are. You see, here's an example. If you believe I'm not smart enough, think of a moment when you solved a problem. Think of a time when you learned something new or when you succeeded at a task. That's the evidence that shows that the assumptive belief, this in this case, I'm not smart enough, that belief is not true. Number three, reframe the belief. And I talked about that just a little bit a moment ago. Take this limiting belief, whatever it is. Let's say the limiting belief is I'm not good at public speaking. Reframe it. I can improve my public speaking skills with practice. Completely opposite. Instead of saying I'm not good at public speaking, now you've said you can improve my public speaking skills with practice. The more you say that, the more your subconscious mind takes that in, the more it changes the programming up there in your subconscious mind. Focus on growth and possibilities, not perfection. Move from fixed thinking, like I can't, to growth thinking, like I can improve. I can improve. Number four, gather evidence for the new belief. Your mind does need proof to accept new beliefs. You can't just say, make it so like Captain Picard did. It needs proof. So look for small wins, or you can even look at past experience that align with the new belief. Take action to reinforce it. Even the smallest step counts. And as you do this and you take action to reinforce it, and you take these small steps, celebrate the successes rather than talking about the negative part of whatever you're working on. Example, if your new belief is, I am capable of learning new things, try learning a small skill or learn a new hobby, but celebrate your progress, even the smallest little bit. And number four, again, take action, even if it's small. When I say again, I mean the small part, but take action. You have to take some kind of action to achieve whatever you're trying to achieve. So, limiting beliefs thrive on inaction. So, the fastest way to break them up is to take steps that prove them wrong. Start with one small action that aligns with your new belief. Consistency is key, and then small wins add up over time. If you can't believe, this is just another example of something, if you can't believe that you can't get fit, why not start with 10 minutes of walking daily? And if for some reason you're at a point in your life where you can't do 10 minutes of walking, you do five. If you're at a point in your life where you can't do five, you do three. But you get the drift there. Then gradually increase as your confidence builds and your skills build and grow. Number six, surround yourself with positive influences. And if you're watching this, then you are already taking those kind of steps because you want to spend time with people who uplift and encourage you. Heaven knows that as especially the working class, when we go to work, a good share of the time you're going into something that has a lot of negativity around it because not everybody is thinking and growing the way that you are. So whenever time is afforded to you, spend that good quality time with people who uplift and encourage you. Seek out stories or books, podcasts that reflect the mindset you want to adopt. YouTube is a great platform that you can get on there and spend 5, 10 minutes a day easily, hopefully more than that, watching different YouTube videos or listening to different things on YouTube that will keep you uplifted. And then limit your exposure to negativity, including your own negative self-talk, as much as possible. Again, I know that a lot of us, a lot of people have to go to work, and they are around individuals that sometimes can make it a little tough to stay in that creative and positive mode. But you can do it. And the higher your vibration is, and the more the higher your vibration and the more that you come with all these different facets of confidence and just positivity and because you've been doing these other things, you'll start finding yourself even at work around more people that are similar think are in similar thinking to the things that you're thinking. And then try a role model. Find a role model because role models can help. Find someone who has achieved what you're working towards and learn from them. Number seven, practice self-compassion. Changing beliefs takes time, and setbacks are going to be normal. You can bet there's going to be some setbacks. So don't beat yourself up if old thoughts resurface. I just told you that every once in a while I still find myself saying things like I have no imagination or I'm not creative. Be aware of those thoughts when they resurface. Don't beat yourself up. And again, reframe the thought. Treat yourself the way you would treat a friend. Be kind and encouraging. Um, we sometimes are so hard on ourselves, and then you can see the same thing happening with somebody that you know and you love, and even somebody that you don't know and love, and you'll be nicer to them than you are to yourself. And remember, progress, not perfection, is the goal. Number eight, and this is very, very important. They're all important, but this is extremely important as well. Reinforce your new belief. Reinforce it daily. Reinforce it more than just once a day. Reinforce it whenever you can. And how do you do that? Well, you do that by repeating affirmations or positive statements that align with your new belief. And yes, I know it's going to sound like, kind of like a foreign language to you when you say that. Your subconscious mind is saying, that's not true, blah, blah, blah. But the more that you repeat it, the more that it goes into your subconscious mind, you are gradually and steadily changing that belief in your programming. And eventually, if you continue to do it consistently for a long enough time, you will change that belief. Other ways is to visualize yourself succeeding or already embodying this new belief. So if you have a limiting belief about stepping on a stage and speaking in front of people, visualize yourself as already on the stage. Visualize yourself being congratulated by people for this beautiful speech that you gave. Visualize as if it is already done, and you will embody that new belief. And another good way is to journal about your progress and reflect on the positive changes you notice, because when you notice a positive change, you want to celebrate it. So go ahead and journal those things down. And another one that is imperative to do is live a life of gratitude. Keep a gratitude journal. Sit in silence and be grateful for the things that are happening in your life. Be grateful for that you're going through this process, and things will continue to get better. And the more you do these kind of things, the quicker the changes will appear. And remember, you're capable, you're resilient, and if you do, you will continue to grow every day. So why does this process work? Well, every time you challenge or reframe an act against a limiting belief, you weaken its hold over you. The brain rewires based on repeated thoughts and actions, and then it creates new pathways that align with your new empowering belief. Limiting beliefs are like mental habits. With patience and persistence, you can break them and replace them with thoughts that empower you to grow and to thrive. Limiting beliefs shape our reality, but we have the power to reshape them. By identifying, challenging, and reframing these beliefs, we unlock new possibilities for growth and success. So, what can you do right now? Well, you can choose one limiting belief and start the process of changing it today. Start it by reframing it. Start today by visualizing you already in that state. Remember, small steps lead to big shifts. And as I close out this particular recording, I want to thank you for joining on this journey. And here's to breaking free from limiting beliefs and stepping into your full potential. So I'll see you on the next video.